Good afternoon, Rebel Rooster modeling viewers. I'm back. Well, now I'm back. Back from my 8 weeks of training in Yeehaw, Texas, and I'm back here at Hell's Armpit on this 13th day of June in the year of 2022, and it is in full swing. Our summer's here. We've been in the 114s for the couple days I've been back. But it didn't stop me from coming out here and finishing my Hasegawa Zero that I started. Let's take a look at that. And I'm going to show you a couple other Zeros I've got sitting out here with it. And I tried something new with the finish on it, and I kind of like it, but I kind of like something else I did with the other one later, which you're going to see soon. So let's take a look at it, and then I'll decide which way I will probably use more frequently. Okay, boys and girls, here it is. Like I said before, it's the 148th scale Hasegawa A6M5C. That's kit number JT72. I painted this with some custom colors I mixed of various greens and blues and blacks to get that Japanese green, and a mix of blues and blacks to get the cowl color. I used Tamiya paints and I thinned them with their lacquer thinner. And the reason I used the Tamiya versus my usual good old hardcore lacquers is you can see I did a lot of chipping on this, and I didn't want to work too hard to get it off. Except for the identification numbers, everything's painted on there. So the Hinamaru, the IFF stripes, the walkways, it's all, and my upside down landing gear strut stripes are also painted on here. And I like the color it came out with. It's the right shade of green that I like. That, as best as I can tell, it's the right shade. The chipping's okay. I'm getting there with it. And what I did was, after I painted it, I got some oil paints, and I used these Master's Touch oils. I used the soil green on the top of it, and I used one of their grays on the bottom, and I cut it with this refined linseed oil by Gamblin, I guess. Anyway, these are both available at the hobby store that's closed on Sundays. And if you don't have one of those around you, they shouldn't be too hard to find. It's a pretty basic paint there. So what I did was, after I painted the airplane, I used one of these cheap little testers paint brushes to brush it on, and then I just got some paper towel and wiped it off / rubbed it in to get the a little more reflection and shininess, but it's still subtle enough to not look like I put a ton of gloss on it, because even when they wore out, these Japanese airplanes did have a little luster to them. The landing lights, I did something, you could see the evolution I've had over the years. Here's one where I didn't bother to do anything with the landing light, I just kind of left it. And then here's another one I built later where I put some silver paint over it. Where's my pointing pencil? There we are. I put some silver paint over it, and then put some Tamiya clear color over the silver paint. And on this one I took the actual landing lights, and I got a very tiny drill bit, very tiny. I'll show you what I used. I got a set of these. They're made by Union Tool. Yeah, I got them off Amazon. You get five of these boxes at a time. I think it was like $10. And I used these, one of those anyway, to drill the ever so tiniest hole in there. And then I pushed paint up into the hole so it looks like the light bulb. And I didn't really work too hard on getting it to fit well. I probably should have. This side turned out a little better for the fit. But anyway, you're probably wondering why the blue light bulb. Well, the incandescent lights they had back then, because LEDs weren't around then, so everything was incandescent. They didn't have really bright bulbs. Those bulbs would glow actually really yellow, and so by making the bulb blue and the yellow light, they actually illuminated green when they did light up. So anyway, I did that with the landing lights. I think that looks better than just painting the whole thing or not painting it at all. So I put some effort into the cannon mounts and the leading edge to make sure that there's no step or shelf on there. You know, they're just kind of, you usually have a seam line or something, and that's actually chipping, what you're looking at there. The chipping, I tried to limit it to where it would get rearmed between flights, the inspection panels when they would check the airplanes during maintenance inspections, and of course where they would be walked around on and kicked around and everything. And then I took a little bit of these inks. These are also available at pretty much every hobby store. They're made by Amsterdam, I guess. It's an acrylic ink, and I thin that just lightly with X20A, Tamiya X20A, and it sprays nicely. And what's nice is, I don't know if you have these where you live, but Formula 409 household cleaner, that wipes it off where you don't want it, or if you did bad and you can start it over, but it won't take the paint off your airplane. So I used that for the cannon scorching and some of the exhausting, and I'm getting a little better with it. And I went through the effort to make sure the balance weights were put on here. Every little thing. I even did one of my rare things where I taped up, I don't think you're going to be able to see it, but I put tape over the 3 lenses on the gun sight so that it's black, except you can see through the there you go, you can see through the lenses on the gun sight, so that looks good too. So I'm pretty happy with the finish on it. Now I'm going to put it against an older one I did, and this is where you can really see the difference. This is very flat and lifeless. The decal shines. See how there's, follow the light here. It doesn't reflect off the wing much at all, but when it hits a decal, it just really looks bad. And that's after hitting the decal with a flat coat. So between the way that the recesses of the panel lines and such are better on a painted marking, the light is evenly reflected. I just think painting markings is definitely the way to go. But you can really see this is kind of a flat and lifeless finish, which looks good on U.S. naval aircraft or some of those African campaign BF-109s, those kinds of things. But the Japanese paint, there's this false rumor that it was crappy paint, it was never primed and this and that, but actually it held on pretty well. Even after the planes got wore out, it kept a little bit of a luster on it. So that's what I was trying to do here. So I got another one I did earlier, and you guys might remember me when I did this one. I took the flits and the polish out and polished the paint after applying it. And I'm not so sure which way I like better, the oil, the reflectivity of the oil, or the polished look. This looks to me a little more plasticky than this one does, but they each have qualities I like better about them. So I really don't know which I like better. But anyway, there she is. It's all done. The mask, the Edward mask, was a great help. I'm usually pretty vocal about the one thing I don't like about modeling, that's masking canopies. I despise it. I hate it. And those masks are worth the $5.95 I had to spend on purchasing them for this thing. So anyway, that's it for the Zero. Here's the 3 of them. I'll just put them all together, let you get a look at them. I'll pan the camera around a little bit in just a second, and then we'll kind of take the court of opinion on which looks best here. So just a second. So let's take a look at these. Here's the one I just finished. Here's that very old one with the kind of lifeless, dull finish. And here's the one where I polished after painting. Let me turn it a little bit so I can get a little more light to let you see it. There you go. See, it's got a pretty nice depth to it. It's just a little bit too uniform for me. I like the way the variances come out with the oils, but the other thing is this thing is going to be a magnet for dust, so I don't know. But anyway, there they are. Now I'll build something besides a Zero. Here's one more look actually, without my intense, these lamps I have on them. I use daylight LEDs, which are really intense. There's the old one. Here's the one I just finished. And here's the one where I polished it after painting. So, without the intense light, this is a better representation of what it looks like. This one tells the truth better. So, let me know what you guys think. Contestant number 1, contestant number 2, and contestant number 3. Just little quick closing thoughts here, and share a couple opinions with you. And you know, because it's my opinion, take it as fact. Because my opinions are always right, as you know. Being gone for this little 2-week period here, a little bit of comeback hiccups. I haven't been gone very long, just 8 weeks, but just kind of funny how it goes. Just little things like not knowing where anything is in my work area. I couldn't find my knife. I couldn't find where I kept certain colors. I couldn't find anything. It took me a couple days just to fumble around and find things. And you know, I lost my trigger finger, so I was having trouble with some of the painting. My eyeball for mixing paints. It's kind of fun getting back with it again. A little bit of lesson in humility when you're coming back and starting a little bit over and you lost some of your skills. And you know, humility lessons are always difficult for great people like myself, because when you're this awesome and this great, humility is a very rare thing to occur to you. So it's just been a little bit of an experience coming back, and it's been a lot of fun. And the reason I'm going on with this ramble is for those of you who are just getting back into modeling, particularly those of you who have been gone for decades. You know, you probably were modeling when you had your choice of Revell or Monogram, and the only paints you had was Pactra and Testors enamels. You know, these little things here. You had the tube glue, which, you know, left strings when you tried to pull away, and all these things. And now you're overwhelmed by all the new stuff out there. It's have fun with it, man. Don't watch too many YouTube videos and hold that standard to, oh, I have to be that good. Just wherever you are, man. You know. You'll get better as you go on. I mean, I'm kind of starting, you know, it's only been a couple months, but I'm kind of starting over again here, and like this thing, I mean, it's all right. It turned out okay, but I'm not really happy with it, but you know, it's okay for now. So I'll probably reach back here and do a couple Who Care builds just for fun, and then we'll get going on things. But I just want to tell all you that, sorry, I got a little bit of a sunburn on this chrome dome and it's itchy, but anyway, just have fun with where you are. You'll get better as you go along, and you know, you'll find that no matter how good you are, there's always going to be somebody better than you. Don't let that be a frustration. You know, maybe not even a goal. I mean, there's just some people who are better at something than everybody else. That's just how things are. And I know these are the days of, you know, punish the achiever, and if anybody's good at something, get mad at them. But kind of set that aside if you're kind of given to that thought process, and just kind of enjoy the journey to getting where you are. Look forward to getting better. Have the people you want to emulate, but don't use them as a yardstick of your value. You know what I mean? There's always going to be somebody faster than you in a race, who can tackle better than you in football, who can hit the ball farther. You know, don't let it bug you. You know, have a goal. You know, have an aim, but realize that you know, you may not ever be as good as them. Most of us aren't, but you know, they're a good yardstick to look forward to and try to get there. But don't bite off too much at one time and eat yourself up over it. Just have fun with it. So anyway, sorry for the long ramble at the end here. Just wanted to share a little everything I was experiencing and feeling coming back. So anyway, I'll get started on the next either experiment or model kit and get the videos coming out again. Thanks for checking back in. I'm sure that this 8 weeks was probably a great time not having to look at me and listen to me and everything, but I'm back, and hang in there, because I'll only be here so long. Thanks for watching. God bless, and we'll see you next time.